All right, now we're going to do some wiring here. Uh, really try to follow along on this stuff. This is very important, right? You got to get the wiring right. Like, there's a lot of things you can mess up here. You can be a little off, but the wiring has to be done correctly for this thing to work. Okay, so over here, the far away uh, X or the Y axis NEMA motor, I've got the cable and it reaches over to my Arduino board. If yours doesn't, you're gonna have to splice the cable and extend it. Okay, I've got a DuPont connector on this. Some of them have JST connectors. You can still plug JST connectors into these things. Okay, so what we got here is our X driver, our Y driver, and our A driver. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this, uh, the far Y driver into the A driver here. Okay, and then I've got my other Y driver. I'll plug that into actually Y. Now this one I'm going to leave some curl in. I straightened out the other Y driver. This one I'm going to leave some curl in because I'm going to have to curl it up and tuck it away. Now be careful here. It doesn't really matter how you plug these things in. Just make sure you plug them opposite of each other, okay? Because they're going to have to rotate like this to move the gantry up and down. They're going to have to actually rotate the opposite directions to move the gantry properly. Okay? So, I'll zoom in here and you'll see that this one starts with the black, but this one starts with the blue, right? So this one goes black, green, red, blue. This one goes blue, red, green, black. So this one is opposite of this one. Very important, right? And it doesn't matter like which one you started with because we can always reverse it in the firmware. So that's easy to deal with. Just make sure they're plugged in opposite of each other. All right, next one we're going to pull out is the drag chain here, the y-axis. Now I already put my DuPont connector back on. All you got to do is take your tack, push the little tabs you pried up, push them back down, and then slide the cables right back in. They should snap right on. Real easy. Okay? Now be careful here. Like, don't just plug it in, right? Like that. I don't know if you guys see an issue here. Hopefully you do. But I wrap my cable around my frame, right? If you wrap your cable around your frame, you're going to have a bad time. Make sure to plan where this thing's going to go. So I'm going to pull it underneath this whole bundle here. And doesn't matter which direction, just plug it into the X driver over there. Okay, that's seated in there. Cool. Okay, so a little bit of wire management. I remember talking about these when we were doing the gantry. So I'm going to be putting some right next to the where the drag chain comes out to hold the wires there. Actually, I'm going to pull the wires in a little bit because I don't need that much excess sticking out. Okay, there we go. And a little more. And the purple and gray could be tucked in just a little bit more. There's the gray. There's the purple. Cool. Okay, and the green, just the green, is dangling out. So I'll pull that in. Okay. That's looking tight there. Okay. Now I'm going to plug in or screw in some cable management. So I want one right next to where the drag chain comes out. And I'm going to need a right angle to get in there. Should probably have the right driver on it. Guess I'm just going to drop things. Okay. There we go. Got that in there. And it twisted. There we go. Okay, that's seated there. And then I'm going to tighten it up now that I straightened it out. All right. Got one on there. One out of a million. Actually, I prepped 11 of them for this. I think I'll need about 11 to do this part. But I'm going to need probably 5 or 6 more to finish the thing up. So I'll put one a little further down here. Just scooting around here. Being difficult. That's all right. There we go. That's in there really well. Okay, now I can go to the driver. And I'm going to put one on this rail back here. So as you can see, I put one up here, right under the drag chain, one right here, right next to this corner bracket. Whoops, didn't get that really straight. I'm going to have to straighten that out a bit. There you go. That looks better. And I'll tighten that up. How to use that, because I over distorted the threads on it. And then I'll put one up here a little bit further. About there, right? There we go. I did this one right. Okay. Got one here. And then I'll put one up top here. And then one right above the Arduino here. All right, there we go. Okay, what do we need next here? Oh, we need some over here to keep it clean. I think I'll use my little driver here. That seems a little faster. Much faster. I've got the drill here in the way, so the gantry doesn't fall. All right, that's looking good. Okay. Now, I don't want excess next to the Arduino. I want all the excess next to the stepper motors, right? So this one and this one are going to sort of cross paths here. So I'll put a zip tie in, okay, and I'll capture it, and it's just going through one of the clips on the tie downs, not both. Okay, there we go, and then pull it tight, not too tight. Pull it slightly taut. And do that all the way down. And then I'm tucking this excess in back here, and then putting the zip tie on this last one. Okay, so that looks good. Now there's a few more wires that have to come in from this side over here, okay? So there's a bit going on. So right out of the drag chain, I'm going to put one of these zip ties on. Okay, and then doing it for the same thing for this, and this one. All right. Okay. Now we're sort of at a crossroads here. Now I have lasers that have drivers on them. I have lasers that have external drivers. What I'm going to do with this setup is use one mounted driver laser and one external driver laser. I'll uh I'll grab those in just a second here. I'm going to finish up this video and then we'll go to that. So, let's see. We got all these filled up. We got this one still waiting for some stuff. We don't have power yet and we don't have lasers installed yet. But now we are super close to getting this thing moving and firing. So, we got the steppers all plugged in the right way. And next video, we're going to talk about lasers and where to mount things. Thanks for watching.